So if you've been watching the NBA these past couple seasons, you've been blessed to watch probably the most dominant scoring threat we've seen at the center spot in a very, very long time in Joel Embiid, who in the past couple years have been a revelation. A 3-level scorer that is probably one of the most dominant low post threats we've seen in a while, able to get to the free throw line like it's nothing, averaging 30, 10, and 5 so far this season while being a great rim protector. Joel Embiid has been, well, one of the top 5 players in the NBA. But you can't help but feel a little bad for him from just how little respect he gets from an accolade standpoint when you look at the NBA right now. Right now, Joel Embiid is a 4-time All-NBA player. None of those are first team. He has 2 finishes, second in MVP voting the past 2 seasons, both behind Nikola Jokic, which is also the reason why he was not All-NBA first team, because Nikola Jokic took those and you can only have one center on that team. And it's hard to look at these numbers, look at how well he's been playing, look how much he carries the 76ers team at times, and see just how little respect he gets from an accolade standpoint. Now, I understand that finishing second in MVP voting is no easy feat and shouldn't be looked at as anything other than exceptional. But people aren't going to bring up, oh my gosh, you remember Joel Embiid finished second 2 years in a row in the MVP voting? Yeah. And this season so far, even though he's playing even better than he did a year before, averaging 33 points per game, he is still only 6th in ranking in MVP voting this season. And while this has been one of the craziest MVP seasons, and at any single point he can go on a run which pushes him to first, with right now Nikola Jokic is up there, any one of these guys can make a significant run and really, stamp themselves the MVP at any single point. But this has been one of the most historic MVP runs we've seen in a while. So I can understand why Joel isn't always at the top of it. But to be as low as 6 just doesn't feel right when you're talking about just how good of a player Joel Embiid is, because I wouldn't put him anywhere outside of the top 4 when I talk about the best players in the NBA. And even though the 76ers are a 5th seed in the Eastern Conference right now at 21-14, they might as well be tied for the 3rd seed, as they've only lost 1 more game than the Milwaukee Bucks. And right now they've played 1 less game than the Milwaukee Bucks, and they are, I think, about 3 games out of being the 2nd seed in the Eastern Conference. So right now he has been playing great, and on a team that's missed James Harden for extended amounts of time. Tyrese Maxey has missed a couple games now. Joel Embiid has efficiently put up 33 points per game, and keeping this team above the level that people expect them to, even though they missed their 2nd and 3rd best player for a significant time this season. Overall, he's just been playing great, and it's just hard to see I don't want to say limited respect, because he does get the respect in the media. Last year in the MVP voting, I think Nikola Jokic had a little bit more assuredly at that time than he does this year. And even then, people were still giving Joel Embiid his flowers, but it's just hard to see him consistently not even have an All-NBA first team to his name and just consistently be 2nd place. And what has made it probably is going to be even worse for him this season when it comes to just not getting the respect he has, is that since this MVP voting has been this insane, and him right now only being ranked 6th in MVP voting, it makes it seem like he's not going to be an all-star starter this year. With how great Giannis is playing, 31, 11, and 5, and the Bucks are the 2nd seed, with how crazy Kevin Durant's been playing, 37 and 5, the Nets being the 3rd seed, and with how crazy Tatum's been playing at 31, 8, and 4 as the 1st seed, it does make it seem like right now, with the way the All-Star voting goes, where you can have 3 forwards and you don't even have to have a center, it looks like Joel Embiid won't even be an All-Star starter this year. And this video is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. And Underdog Fantasy is the best place to win big playing player props. You can win from 3 times your money to 20 times your money with a wager as small as $1. They have player props for every single game. All you have to do is pick your players and click higher and lower on either stat where you think they're going to do that given night, and you make your wager and click submit. It's as easy as that. You can also click on the insurance so that if you pick 5 players, you can still win some money even if you miss out on 2 people or 2 certain stats, because we all make mistakes here. So if you are interested in playing player props, please use code FLB on sign up to have $100 up to $100 matched on your first deposit. and thank you to Underdog Fantasy for sponsoring this video. And this just culminated in just the fact that he's probably the most unlucky superstar the NBA has right now. Missed the first 2 years of his career because of injuries. Has been through 4 different front offices, from the Brent Brown, Sam Hinkie days to them trying to fix whatever this team is, to the Elton Brand days of screwing up Jimmy Butler and trading away him instead of keeping him over Tobias Harris. And now this, after Ben Simmons has left, and you have the new Daryl Morey front office. You've been with a coach that you loved in Brent Brown, now to Doc Rivers, who I don't know how he feels about Doc Rivers specifically, but Doc Rivers has always been known as the problem for the 76ers team, in a sense that his adjustments and just overall, I think how it feels like he doesn't even have control of this locker room. Just he doesn't feel like the right head coach for this team. Missing out on MVP, being the MVP 2 years in a row, being second place both times, and your co-star sitting out your entire season that 1 year until you got James Harden midway through the year. This team is consistently tanked with him on it, and has gotten 3 top 3 picks and has missed on every single one of them, from Jahlil Okafor to Ben Simmons to Markelle Fultz. It just doesn't seem like he deserves what he's getting here. And this is not a call for him to leave Philly. I think it's great that he's in Philadelphia. I think Philadelphia fits really well with him. I think he's just been extremely unlucky, and I don't think he'll get any more recognition anywhere else than he does here. I just think it's just a media thing right now. Hopefully, I'm not clamoring for win MVP this season, because I do think there's maybe just some players that are playing better. I think Nikola Jokic is still playing better this year. But I do think, again, he's probably the second guy behind him, or the third when you look at Luka Doncic, even though Luka's team is not really winning that much. And I just think him not being an all-star starter and him never getting a All-NBA first team nod is just horrific in every sense of the word. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Do you think Joel Embiid deserves a little bit more respect from the media, from the fans overall? Do you think that this is just hogwash, the simple fact that he hasn't even gotten some of these accolades already in his career? Because this is really going to affect him in all-time rankings, when I think him and Nikola Jokic should, at the end of their careers, be firmly within the top 10, probably even top 5 of centers all time, with just how great and dominant they are. But that being said, this FLB, that's my time, and I'm out.